Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Zishan Isaac with Zishan on air every Sunday, 6 p.m. and onward. And without further ado, I would like to dive right into our key topics today. There's a lot happening in terms of this war with the Iran, and a lot of people are perplexed into understanding this and what's happening, what's not happening, what is the propaganda that is always associated with any war, and especially with this kind of war, where many are calling it illegal war, and those who are considering this as a holy war. Well, I got news for you that this is not a holy war, because if you're going to turn this into a holy war, then the entire Muslim world will certainly find you at the wrong side of history, because if you look at the history of Islam as well, for 1400 years, Islam has always survived many oppressors throughout the century. So those of us who are the students of history, those of us who are the student of Islam, those of us who actually study wars and look at this in the aspect of that, what is going on? So here is what's going on. President Stubb of Finland is saying we must face reality. The West has split. So that's number one. The alliances that were built by the US after the Second World War, especially, has collapsed. Europe and UK push back against Trump's demands. This is not our war. That's what the New York Times have reported. The Telegraph has reported this. And then Putin is actually offering to stop sharing intel with Iran if US cuts off Ukraine. So there's some quid pro quo kind of a thing going on. Wall Street Journal is reporting Iran believes it's winning and wants a steep price to end the war. And that is precisely the case that is happening in terms of the Arab media and Al Jazeera, and how Iran has hit back, especially those places where the strikes were launched at Iran. And many of those people who really thought that, oh, this regime will collapse after the demise and the death of their supreme leader, Khamenei, they are also scratching their heads, and then they are coming up with new stories. Oh, it's just going to end whenever President Trump wants to end, and President Trump himself is also saying, I will just end this war. But guess what? It's very easy to start wars, very difficult to end it, and you will see it in some more news that is being covered by credible news reports. But unfortunately, the mainstream media and many of those people who watch Fox News and those who just only watch CNN News, it's still not covered with the right information that the Americans should want to know about this war. Because unfortunately, war is also waged to help the defense industry. And that is also not rocket science or any secret information. That's public knowledge. Iran's attempted strike on Diego Garcia reveals missile range. Now, Iran's authorities are saying we did not hit Diego Garcia. That is the base which is shared by US and UK. Now, the UK has sent their nuclear submarine in the Middle East. What does that have to do with this? Are they worried that the Israelis might hit a nuclear strike on Iran? Or are they worried that some other thing would happen? So this is certainly an area of concern for many of those people who are peace activists, and they really want to end this war, and they want to see an end to this war. The base, a strategic airfield that can host B-2 stealth bombers, as reported by these news outlets. It's 2,500 miles, 4,000 kilometers away from Iran, and suffered no damage, according to a person familiar with the matter, speaking on condition of anonymity. And Iran launched ballistic missiles at the joint US-UK base in Diego Garcia on Friday, demonstrating a weapons capability that goes beyond what Tehran was known to have possessed. So there are two things coming up. Iran, basically, it has been reported by Geo News and some other news outlets in the South Asian world, and especially in Pakistan. They're saying that Iran's government, and they shared the border. Pakistani government or the state of Pakistan shares at least 900 kilometers or so in terms of the border with Iran. So their neighbor is Iran. And they have close coordination in terms of relations with Iran as well, and also with Saudis. And they're saying, their main media is saying that Iran's government is saying that, no, we did not attack Diego Garcia. So now who is going to conduct an international investigation that who then actually hit Diego Garcia. So that's scary stuff. Now, from some of the world's largest producers, their crude has nowhere to go. So Iran has also now stated that all those who are not involved in this war, they have a free passage through Strait of Hormuz. So now the West has a split, and also because of economic reasons. 3 weeks into the war, the Iranian regime is signaling that it believes it is winning and has the power to impose a settlement on Washington that enhances Tehran's dominance of Middle East energy resources for decades to come. This is reported by Wall Street Journal. How many people actually read the newspapers or actually read these days? That's where we gotta inform and keep the mental health positive, and also help people to recognize that this is war. A lot of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news and wrong things will be said by all the parties who are involved in this war. However, we have to then go back, fact check. That's where once upon a time it was the role of the media and credible media outlets to do their due diligence. But we are living in a very interesting times. And then AP News has reported Iran strikes near Israeli nuclear research center as Trump threatens attacks on Iranians' power plants. So they attack Natanz. AP News is also missing that information, or they said it separately. But then Iran then attacked, obviously, Arad and this another region, Domine, I'm forgetting the name. And it has been reported 6 Israelis are now dead. And in other report, one more was dead in a strike on some other area. And then dozens are injured. And this happened just several hours ago. So things are moving so fast, and no one knows what is actually happening from a ground reality perspective. Politico has reported Moscow had proposed a quid pro quo to the US under which the Kremlin would stop sharing intelligence. The US rejected the proposal, and the people who basically are familiar with negotiations said that such a proposal was made by Russian envoy Kirill Dmitriev to Trump administration envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner during their meeting last week in Miami. And they have further stated the US rejected the proposal. The people added they, like all other officials cited in this article, were granted anonymity due to the sensitivity of the discussions. Politico has reported that. Daily Mail, Gulf states battle to down missiles at Iran blitzes oil and gas plants. And Jerusalem Post has reported, so this is an interesting point. A lot of people have been asking me, Saudis are playing a very interesting game right now. No one is trusting the Saudis. Publicly, they are saying, oh, we are against this war. Privately, as reported in the Jerusalem Post, Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, urges Trump to keep hitting Iran hard. Why? Because remember, Saudis, they are focused on oil. They want to run their economy. MBS has a 2030 vision as well, although some are reporting this NEOM $1 trillion project that they started is now coming at stall. And obviously, the entire Gulf image that they portrayed from Bahrain to UAE to Saudis, oh, this is your place, where you can literally have these beautiful Red Sea beaches, and Westerners can come and enjoy with the same kind of lifestyles that Westerners enjoy, although they have very conservative cultures and conservative societies. But because of, obviously, in the interest of making more money, they don't care, and they obviously sold that idea. But now all that image that they built for the past 30, 40 years has just gone up in the air, because who wants to go in a region that is constantly at war? So they also want to get rid of this problem that they perceive from their own interest. It's Iran. And Iran is saying that we're doing this for the Muslim world, for the people in Palestine and Gaza, and no one in the world is actually helping and supporting these people. So they have taken this initiative where Department of Defense, or now Department of War, Pete Hegseth, who basically is has already shown off his tattoos, where he is actually someone who loves crusades, and he has tattoos, which we have covered it previously, and many news outlets have covered it, that he is a crusader. So now, and he also has some other tattoos where it talks about that, yes, he's a kafir, or they call it infidel, and he actually is telling these countries who practice Islam that we are infidels and we want to hit you, so come and attack us. So this is what's happening right now, and this is why Americans and people in the world, they need to stop this war. And President Trump must stop this war before it goes completely out of hand, which it already has. So now, Jerusalem Post has reported this, and then based on all these other actions that the Saudis have taken, for example, the military attaché of Iran has been expelled now from Saudis, and 5 other members of Iranian people who are from their diplomatic mission or their embassy have been expelled. So the message is very clear from Saudis. So you cannot play both sides right now at this point, because remember, 57 Muslim countries, none of them are supporting Iran. Iran is fighting on its own, and they are saying that we're going to fight till death. So what are you going to do? Are you going to nuke them? God forbid. So that's why you cannot win a war when you are fighting against people who are ready to die. And they're saying that we are not afraid to die. So that's why Americans need to recognize this and stop this madness, especially those who are for this war. And those who have some sense of sensibilities and reason and recognize that humanity is at stake and war helps no one, they should certainly do something about it before no one can even stop this war and this madness. Trump team applying pressure to media, AP has reported, tell the war story the way we see it. Yes, that's what the mainstream media is already doing. But since there is so much social media as well, and the emergence and these images, as this image, those of you who can see on your screen on social media, we are getting this information from Daily Mail and all these outlets. You cannot stop the information, and especially those who seek truth and in the pursuit of seeking truth. The war has also caused schism between top allies within Trump's MAGA movement, including Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly, as the president has argued for years against regime change wars in the Middle East. And you will be surprised what's more to come in terms of who else has resigned and what that person has said. Daily Mail has also reported Iran now holds the cards now. Go figure this one, right? And Daily Mail further reported that Trump has demanded US allies deploy warships to reopen the critical oil passageway. But France, Japan, Australia, and the UK have all declined to help protect commercial shipping from Iranian attack. And gas prices, on average, $4, $6, and even higher, as we are seeing in the US. Iran holds all the cards now, says senior White House insider. And then this is where this person has reported, the source has reported to Politico, and it's also reported by Telegraph newspaper, quote, they decide how long we're involved, and they decide if we put boots on the ground, and it doesn't seem to me that there is a way around that if we want to save face, unquote. Let's save the face now. That's the rallying crowd or the rallying cry, or people saying out loud that let's save the face, stop this madness, stop this war. CBS has reported Trump administration making heavy preparation for potential use of ground troops in Iran. And AP has reported more in terms of Israel says it killed two Iranian officials. One was the leader of their National Security Council, and his name is obviously Ali Larijani. So he is also gone, but it doesn't matter how many people they kill at the top regime. The structure that they have created, it has so much layers, and the structure they created, it took them 40 years because Iran already knew since the 1979 revolution that was brought up by Khomeini and the people of Iran. Yes, there are some people who oppose this, but it's a country of 92 million people. And that's where 80 and 90, even conservative estimates, they are with this regime. And in fact, latest reports that are coming out in terms of all these mass demonstrations and the support that they showed up in hundreds and thousands of people on the streets of Tehran while bombing was happening, that these people are not afraid. And that has also sent an element of surprise to even President Trump, who was somehow pressured by Benjamin Netanyahu, or some said that because of Epstein files, what have you, that they were compelling him that, it will be over in 3 or 4 days and you will be considered as a hero for the rest of your life or legacy, not only in the US, but all over the world. But it has backfired. All those political miscalculations can be seen now. Daily Mail further reported in terms of even injuries. And the Detroit Noise News since 1873 has reported in terms of death tolls March 22nd, which Reuters has not independently verified, but in Iran, US-based rights group HRANA said on March 21st, which is just a day or two ago, that 3,230 people have been killed in Iran. It said 1,406 of those were civilians, including at least 210 children. The group says data comes from field reports, local contacts, medical and emergency sources, civil society networks, open source materials, and official statements. And the Ministry of Defense from UK has reported this attack, which obviously the British ground center drone unit in a high threat area took out the largest number of drones in a single night since the conflict began. So you can read more about that. Wall Street Journal has reported Saudi Arabia sees a spike to $180 oil if energy shock persists past April. And then some more news with regards to UAE's Fajura oil industry, a zone that was hit. Another tanker was hit, the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. And then Abu Dhabi's national oil company and Occidental Petroleum, they have the Shah gas field, which was located about 110 miles south of Abu Dhabi. Iran targets UAE energy infrastructure, gas fields set ablaze, tankers struck Strait of Hormuz, as reported by CNBC. Oil prices, as you can see in the graph, going all the way touching $120 a barrel or higher, and average U.S. gas pump prices also getting higher and higher as we speak. And also, I would like to share this. Netanyahu and Huckabee mock conspiracy theories about PM's death. Yes, Mike, I'm alive. That's what was shown on this another interesting video where many conspiracy theorists then come out, and then there was this news conference where many are saying that he was not in the same frame. They were showing those who were asking questions to Bibi was in a different frame, and Bibi was standing in that other frame, or maybe he was in some other room, who knows. So there's still some conspiracies going on. And then obviously wherever he's traveling in this big box bunker wherever Bibi Netanyahu goes, and then he goes into the bunker. So no one likes Bibi Benjamin Netanyahu except those who are very weak, and those are not standing with the people of the world and Americans and with humanity. They love Benjamin Netanyahu. So that's the word on the main street. And that's why American mainstream media are not playing their positive role and their responsible role in terms of understanding what's at stake. And here is Joe Kent. After much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center, effective today. It happened a few days ago. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, that it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. It has been an honor serving under Ed POTUS and Ed NGI Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard, she is the Director of National Intelligence, and leading the professionals at NCTC. May God bless America. And then he wrote this entire letter, which you can read. And as a veteran and as a Gold Star husband, he lost his wife, and he has been on so many tours, 11 combat tours, 11 times. So very tough message came out from former Director of National Counterterrorism. And CBS News has reported 92% Americans end the conflict as quickly as possible. 92%. So anyone who is actually for this war, they are literally in minority, 8% or maybe less. CBS News has reported even fewer than when the war started, to say the administration has clearly explained the U.S. goal, clearly explained 38%, now it's 32%, not done that yet. 62% said on March 3rd, now 68%. It will continue to go up and up every hour, every day. AP News further reported this, as you can read, and then Trump threatens to blow up major Iranian gas fields as energy prices soar higher. He's saying that the Strait of Hormuz should be open 48 hours. And many experts are saying that they don't see how it's going to happen, and they don't see it happening. There are so many mines with different boats that they have, and the technology that Iranian scientists and what they have created, where it would be very difficult for oil tankers to pass, as reported by experts in credible news organizations. Reuters has reported US to deploy thousands of additional troops in the Middle East, and the New York Times has reported Federal Reserve holds rates steady as Iran war appends. Economic outlook, economy is certainly at stake here, and people cannot afford to buy their groceries and their everyday needs. Trump and Iran trade war threats with Hormuz crisis building, and then Bloomberg has further reported the aspect of what's at stake and how Strait of Hormuz. First responders inspect the site of an Iranian missile strike in Arad, Israel early on March 22nd. Happened just a couple of hours ago. With that, I'm going to share some key information from our key advertisers, especially Affordable Insurance of Texas, AITinsurance.com, AITinsurance.com, 713-785-4000 is their number, 713-785-4000. And you can get auto insurance, get a quote, homeowners insurance, commercial insurance, business insurance. They've been in business for decades. You can visit their website, AITinsurance.com, or 713-785-4000, that's their number. You can set up a virtual video tour by calling this number, 832. Call them 832-267-0065, 832-267-0065. That's Roop Saudi Palace, roopsaudi.com. And you'll find dresses for men, women, brides, grooms, children of all ages. Roop Saudi Palace. Visit them at Hillcroft, and you can visit them online, roopsaudi.com. Also, Shanghai, Texas, today, their grand Eid buffet is not $15.99. Many people enjoyed it on the day of Eid, and you can go today as well for only $15.99. Same items they basically have that were served on the day of Eid. Just a couple of days ago, ShanghaiTexas.com, that's the web address. And for catering, call 73953-1388, ShanghaiTexas.com, Shanghai Restaurant Catering. And HHRD.org, you can always donate, and that's the number. Again, HHRD.org, that's the web address. And with that, I'm going to sign off and continue with Zishan on air. And next is Asher with the Big Baller Sports. And thank you for joining me. Thank you.